Well, that sort of worked, and welcome in one and all to the Nerdopolis podcast. We're here to discuss movies, games, collectibles, all the nerdy stuff we love that lives under this Nerdopolis umbrella we all call planet Earth. I guess maybe I'm rambling because this is episode 1. It's the first one. So yeah, this is the first one, number 1. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Mitch George, joined as always, I guess, since it's the first one, so it's technically true, by the Gabagool Guardian himself, Mr. Jig Sal, Mr. Salvatore Di Vittorio. Sal, how you doing, buddy?
Hi, Mitchell. I'm okay.
That was all the energy I expected out of you on this, because
I'm excited. It's exciting.
You know what? You sound whelmed.
I'm good. It's it is. It's been gone a while. First time jitters again. They're coming back.
It's okay. I know I've been podcasting a bit since another thing ended, but no, I'm happy to have something new, something with you, something we can share with all our friends, something we can bring all of our friends into, and just talk about the nerdy stuff we love. It doesn't have to be games or movies or whatever. It can be comics. It can be pop vinyls. It can be, I don't know. Give me other nerdy things. I'm having issues. Anime, that's a thing.
Anime, fossils, people like all kinds of stuff. We're good.
Dungeons and Dragons,
D&D. What else? What else do people like?
I mean, let's not list a bunch of random things while I check a notification on a thing that I'm hoping is what I want it to be. And it is. It's us. It's okay. Cool. That thing I was talking to you about before in the Discords worked. So I'm happy to say we actually have a notification that went somewhere.
There we go.
Because of course we were doing all of this at the last minute and making it work that way.
Of course, it's fun.
I'm also realizing I'm a little loud, so I'm gonna turn myself down a little bit.
This was going to be a recording until we decided, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to go live.
Yeah, we'll do it live. What's wrong with doing it live? Oh no, I'm being quiet now. See, this is just gonna be the thing. We have some growing pains. We are happy to have you here along for this ride with us to help us grow. And speaking of grow, I do need to say off the top, this is a new venture for Sal and I. So if you could, share the tweets over at twitter.com/nerdopolisnet, follow and eventually maybe we'll see if we can do subscriptions over at twitch.tv/nerdopolisnet and over on YouTube at a really convoluted link that we can't change until we get a number of subs.
Eventually.
I know this is going to be up on Spotify. Eventually it'll be on other podcast services. If you can rate and review on that platform or any platform that allows you to, that is also very appreciated, especially for something as new as this. But we just wanted a space where we could get together and talk nerdy stuff. Probably going to talk a lot of Toronto sports since we're both Toronto sports boys.
Where is it? There we go.
Remember, this is an audio podcast, so he just made finger motions at a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey.
Not only finger motions, finger guns, Mitchell.
Oh, finger guns. My mistake, Sal.
Okay.
Mistake.
I'm allowed to be excited until the second round because nothing to cheer for after that anyway.
I was going to say, you're assuming they're going to get there. Anyway, let's move on to, I'm curious. I know what I want this show to be. Like I said, I want it to be somewhere fun where you can just come in, hang out, have a good time. What do you want out of this?
What do I want? An outlet to just, talk all the nerdy stuff, get excited about things. We have somewhere to vent, somewhere to just ramble, rant. We have people that want to join us in these talks, these podcasts. We can have that space. We can just chill, hang out, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a space where we can just come in, chill, hang out, and bring our friends in and do the same. So do look forward to the two of us being here most weeks. I don't know when, we just said, oh yeah, we're just going to do it on a Thursday. We're just going to hit the button, do the thing.
It might not
we don't have a release cadence yet. We don't know when we're recording, when these things are coming out. We will figure that out as we go along. So like I said, hitting that follow and subscribe button on whatever platforms you're hearing this in your ear holes will be very useful. But we will definitely do our best to keep you updated on Twitter, on our Twitters, everywhere about this thing as it continues to grow and evolve into us just having a space to talk nerdy stuff, right?
Between the both of us, we tweet enough that someone will know when it's going to happen, and even if it's spontaneous, you'll know about it. So
I'm obnoxious as all hell on every platform you follow me on, so I appreciate those follows. And if that brought you here, let me know in the comments of this tweet or the episode or wherever you want to do it. It would be very much appreciated. Okay, so Sal, getting into the nerdy business,
Right.
Do you want to tell people like what to expect? Like, we're going to probably talk about what we've been up to. Obviously, we're going to vent a little bit, go back and forth most episodes. We'll try to have some main talking point. And of course, with the week of this being, the week of the Pokemon Presents for August 2022, that's all we're going to talk about when we get there. So we'll save the Pokemon talk for a little bit. But other than that, like, what can people expect? Like, are we going to do any bits? Are we going to play with the audience a bit? Like, what's the plan?
Don't expect anything except for the unexpected.
Low expectations right out of the gate. I love it.
Low expectations just to be exceeded. You know what I mean? Who knows? You can expect some bits. You can expect some gags, some reoccurring stuff, some planned stuff. We got some stuff in the pipeline. Some stuff for cooking. They're brewing. They're currently in the oven.
Yeah, I've got at least one of those things for you tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I'm terrified. I don't even know what he's talking about.
You'll know once we get there. But first, we're going to talk about what we've been up to. What's new, Sal? What's new with you?
How recent do you want to get? Like, how we've been gone for a couple months on the internet, or?
I mean, if you want to start there, if you want to vent about that a little bit, you're welcome to.
I could. I think I burnt out a little bit, to be honest. Felt like as much as I wanted to keep streaming, I know like the last thing I did was I started an Nuzlocke and then vanished for like 5-6 months.
I mean, a Nuzlocke will do that to you. For those who don't know, Sal and I both stream occasionally over on Twitch. We do our own gaming things. Also, we got to get you a new webcam.
Listen, 0.5. We'll fix it.
No, just because every few seconds, just like, oh, I'm just gonna, go staticky or do whatever.
You know what? Watching. It's better than what it was before. It was every 2 seconds. Now it's every like minute or so.
So as long as you don't go very long, people won't notice all that much. No, so like back to the streaming thing. Yeah, it's something that I've, ebbed and flowed from. We'll try to be as consistent as we can be with this. We want this to be something you can interact with live. We want it to be something you can come back to as evergreen content here, TikTok, Instagram, wherever it is. We're going to put up all them shorts, which is part of what I have planned tonight for that segment. But we'll see. Oh boy. But it's fairly easy in the world we live in today to get burnt out on stuff like that.
No, definitely.
And it's something that you felt. It's something that I felt. It's one of those things of you need to find what's right for you. And I'm hoping that this is a space where it can be right for both of us.
Oh yeah.
And if it's not, like, again, there's going to be no pressure here. We can always find friends to come in and fill in if you need time to just chill. We've already talked to a few friends about being regulars on the show. We wanted to just start at you and I because you and I have been talking about this for a while. But again, this is going to be a space that's open to anyone to come in and chat, hang out, talk about something nerdy you love. We'll definitely do one of those things of like, show me something nerdy, which I actually want to do tonight because I just got an Amazon package delivered. But I want to ask you, Sal. Sal, do you have Amazon Prime?
I do.
Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole spiel because we're not affiliate yet. But I actually canceled my Amazon Prime a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means you've lost your free Twitch Prime sub? Incredible.
Again, we're not going to tease that here because you can't do that yet. But no, it's one of those things of, yes, we shop a lot on Amazon. No, we probably shouldn't be, because the idea of rapid delivery is just eroding anything known as a supply chain. Last mile delivery is one of these things that's just exploded over the last couple of years and has made logistics for a lot of this stuff next to impossible for Amazon and any other organization that's trying to do quick delivery like that. But it's also one of these things is I can't depend so much on this one service that everything is going to come via Amazon. And I've ordered from Amazon in the last couple of weeks, but I just have at least $35 in my cart and just choose the free option. If I don't need it right away, if I need it right away, I'll go out to the local, delicatessen or pharmacy or whatever it is that we're looking for. I don't know. I went to delicatessen because I still see your gabagool emote in our chat.
Well,
but no, it's just one of those things of it's a nice service to have, but it's just an unnecessary expense, at least for me. I can deal with the free option.
Yeah, no, it's too convenient at this point. Like, it's kind of like how I got suckered into Spotify with those here, $1 for the summer. And then he just like, what? I can't not have this anymore. And then it's been 7 years. So.
See, I'm an Apple Music boy, mostly because I love to live in that Apple ecosystem, my phone and the music and all of that.
The episode of Nerdopolis.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to do an Apple versus Android debate at some point. We'll bring in a friend of ours that I know is definitely team Android to help you out, and then, or maybe a couple. We have a couple friends who are definitely on the Android side of things, and I know folks want to be on the Apple side. It's just sometimes too expensive. But we'll have that conversation. We'll have other conversations like that. If you have an idea for a show, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter. Like I said, NerdopolisNet on Twitter. Sal's at Jigsal_, which is awful. And the fact I'm going to have to say that every week kind of hurts me on the inside. I'm all over the place at Mr. Mitch George. So you can definitely reach out to us there. Happy to have you come on, or happy to just discuss something that you're interested in hearing us discuss.
Honestly, the dumber the idea, the better. Because if I can get Mitch riled up on a weekly basis, we got
ourselves the goal, right?
We got some gold if that's the case.
All right, so we got over the Twitch thing, the burnout, the wanting to do something new. This is a new creative outlet for both of us. So it's going to be a good time. But other than that, Sal, what you been up
to? Work. Some fun stuff. What did I do yesterday?
Let's try to keep it fun and light. It is our first episode. We want people to stay.
I watched Nope yesterday.
Nope. Okay. I'm interested to hear about this one because my wife and I were looking. We're like, all right, we should go to a movie this weekend. Let's go see Bullet Train. Okay. The local 19+ theater doesn't have that in the full recliner seat, so we're not going to see that. So our options are Top Gun or Nope.
Those are both really good. I like them both a lot, actually.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about Nope and what you enjoyed of it without being spoilery, because I have an idea of the premise, but I still want to go in as fresh as I can.
That's the problem. I don't want to tell you anything except that it's good, because
okay,
if I say
that's enough. All right, we can move on.
It's one of those things. If I get too into it, it is spoilers.
All right, so, but it's worth seeing, is what you're saying.
Definitely worth a watch. Very fun, good movie. If you liked Get Out or Us, you would enjoy this. And if you can, watch it in IMAX. Because real good in IMAX.
The problem I have with IMAX, we talked earlier about being Canadian. We're both Toronto boys. There's only like 3 proper IMAX screens in the city. Mm-hmm. So I'm either going downtown or out in the middle of nowhere in the West End. And it's just like, do I really want to drive a half hour to 45 minutes to see this movie in IMAX?
I
could, but I think what we're planning right now is we can go to that 19+ recliner theater and see Nope at some point, but we're also planning like a beach day or like a be out in the city day this weekend. And there is a proper IMAX theater down by the lake. So if we do end up down there, we might just head down to that there Cinesphere and check out Top Gun Maverick, because that's what's playing in IMAX at the Cinesphere right now.
Is that what's at the That's awesome, actually. Cinesphere is great.
I haven't been to the Cinesphere in years, and I know this is getting very Toronto, so we'll move on quickly. But it's a really fun old IMAX theater, so it'll be fun to go down there and check that out.
What else? What have I done? Did I play anything this week so far? I started Digimon Survive.
Okay, so I want to know how far are you in it, and is it really like 90%? Graphic or a visual novel, 10% strategy game? Well,
I really only got super into it the other night. Was it Tuesday I played? I think for maybe about an hour or two. I'm only on chapter 1. I did the prologue to the chapter 1 a little bit.
Okay.
It's a visual novel. It's mostly a visual novel. If you like visual novels, look into it. If you like Digimon, look into it. If you want an RPG, by Cyber Sleuth.
Not Digimon World Next Order or whatever it was.
If you can find that, you can do that too. That's Digimon World. That's just straight up Digimon World.
Yeah, but I also heard it was not very good. Granted, I bought it a couple weeks ago for like $12.
Nice.
On digital. So
it was 12. You're lucky, because I looked the other day on the PlayStation Store. It was $80.
I know. It's crazy. And Digimon Survive is one that I want to check out as well, because I'm a Digimon fan. We grew up. We're gonna have to do an episode of like shit from the 90s, or in your case, shit from the aughts that we grew up on, because you're a baby and I hate it.
Oops.
But for me, like Digimon is something that scratches an itch for me. So do visual novels, but not at $80 Canadian.
Yeah, no, I found a nice little discount link for PC, so I got it for I think $60, which was a little easier to swallow than 90.
I've got so many games to play right now, though, which I'll get into in a minute, that it's going to be hard to find time for that until they do discount it like crazy, because they tend to do that with Digimon games. Maybe I'll pick it up on PC if I can get it on the cheap, but not something I feel like I need to play right now, given what I started this week in Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm only like an hour or so in, but my God, is this game pretty.
That's what I know it's going for. It's been, honestly, it's been sitting on my shelf since May.
Really?
I haven't had the urge. I got it for my birthday. I was like, I'll start this, and it is August. I will play PS5 once to install it, and that's it.
That's crazy to me because, I mean, I'm hoping I can stick with it. I had issues with the first game of it holding my attention. It didn't, was the problem. I ended up having to restart it a couple of times to really get into it and finish it. But it was the story didn't really hold me the way I want a game like that to.
It's Horizon's one of those games. It came out in the worst possible time twice. I don't understand how they did that 2 times in a row.
Because what did it come out around this year?
Elden Ring, Game of the Year.
Oh, right.
No, first time
was that to a guy who didn't get out of the first area of Elden Ring.
That's a you problem, Mitchell.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, the first one launched right around Breath of the Wild and the Switch. So no way I was touching it for a little bit. Like I got it for a little bit cheaper a couple months down the road, and then tried to start it, fell off, tried it again. Eventually played through it, got the platinum, whatever. But yeah, it was all right. It was a solid 7 out of 10.
You know what looks like a solid 10 out of 10?
What does?
I mean, Horizon Forbidden West might come to PlayStation Plus, Extra Premium, whatever the hell they're calling their service. Xbox announced Game Pass Family Plan.
Ooh. That's pretty good. That was rumored for a while, wasn't it? I remember reading that.
It was rumored for a very long time, and it looks like it's showing up for €22 a month in Ireland, which would equate to about $35 here. And for a month, like that ain't bad.
How big's the family, though? That's what I
think it's 4.
Nuclear family.
Hey, you and me, bud. The Nerdopolis family.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Here we go. Look at that. We got ourselves a little group name.
Little family started. But no, so I'm playing that. I still, for whatever reason, I'm going back to Power Wash Simulator on Game Pass, which is kind of why I bring it up. Because that is one of those things where I watched 2.5 seasons of What We Do in the Shadows on FX, or at least in Canada, it's available on Disney Plus through their Star banner. But I watched 2.5 seasons of that with just power washing going on my second monitor. It's oddly like therapeutic. So that's one that I just keep bringing back up for whatever reason. There's not like I want to go play the Forza Hot Wheels expansion, but I turn on the Xbox. I'm like, oh, I can wash a playground.
I can clean this entire backyard. You know what? I played a little bit of it, and then I had to actually power wash things over the weekend.
That'll take the fun out of it for sure.
So I said, you know what I don't want to do in my spare time? Power wash something in the virtual world.
Yeah. I mean, I've been binging a ton of stuff on Disney Plus. So I think the next one that I'm doing is Modern Family, because I've never seen that whole show to completion.
I've seen that like here and there. I liked it.
Well, that's the thing is I've seen pieces here and there and I've enjoyed what I've seen. So I'm just going through and binging that on Disney Plus. And that'll be the one where if I'm not really doing anything, I just need it in the background. I'll throw a Power Wash Simulator. It's hard to focus on something like Horizon. But if I'm cleaning a porch, it's not so hard.
That's fair.
Yeah, Brynvar in our Twitch chat, and you can be there too if you head over to twitch.tv/nerdopolisnet. It is backlog season for a reason. Everything's gotten pushed out of this year. We've got a lot of stuff coming late this year or stuff coming into next year. Still waiting for that updated release date on Lord of the Rings Gollum. But yeah, I'm playing Horizon now, and Persona 5 Royal it's there. It's on my cross media bar. I keep saying I need to get back to it, but I know I'm going to do that. And
by the time you get to Persona, it'll be on Game Pass.
The thing is, I've gotten to it. I've put 20 hours into that game already. So to pick it back up where I am, I'm never going to be able to figure it out.
20 hours is like the tutorial. You're fine.
No, I think I got up to like the 3rd dungeon in that game before I put it down.
Okay. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but I need to get back to that one. And you'll hear me say that a lot on this show.
We should have a counter. That'll be awesome.
I mean, we can start working on one. If anyone's out there wants to keep track of how many times I say I'll get back to that in a given episode, we would very much appreciate that info at some point. But the only other thing for me is I talk Disney Plus a lot, mostly because Disney's my jam. For those who don't know, I got engaged at Disney World. I host a Disney Plus podcast. It runs in my veins at this point. But they've been releasing these behind the scenes documentaries for all the Marvel properties they put out. And this week they dropped the assembled episode for Miss Marvel. And my God, if you have not watched Miss Marvel, first off, go watch Miss Marvel. Go. Do it now. But that behind the scenes and just the camaraderie amongst the cast, everyone just seemed to enjoy recording that show or filming that show. So that's a good one to watch if you like any of this like nerdy behind the scenes stuff like I know I do.
Yeah, behind the scenes stuff's fun. I still gotta give Miss Marvel a shot. It's more burnout, MCU burnout.
We're gonna have to talk about that at some point too on the show, and we will. We'll find a guest to come on and talk about that. Maybe my co-host from my Disney Plus podcast. We can talk about that a little bit because I do worry with the amount of content that they're putting out that more and more folks like yourself are gonna say, well, I don't really feel like watching Moon Knight and Miss Marvel and What If Season 2 when I've just gone to theaters to see Thor, Black Panther's coming out later this year. You got Ant-Man in the new year. There's a lot. Like, I think minute to minute this year we've seen more MCU content released than every other year combined. With all the stuff they put on Disney Plus.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Like, I remember a couple movies a year would be a lot for me, but now it's 4 shows, like 3 movies, some shorts, random YouTube clips or whatever.
I Am Groot drops next week and She-Hulk starts the week after.
Oh my God. Can we talk about how just these VGX people need a break? The VFX people,
yeah,
burnt out. They're my heart goes out to them. It's not easy.
Too. No, it's not easy. The timelines are being given and the amount of work they're being asked to put in on some of these projects in a very short period of time. But again, I think a Marvel burnout episode would be great. Maybe the week that She-Hulk premieres. But until then, I think we can move on to. Sorry,
that'd be perfect timing.
I figured. But I think until then, we got to move on to our first recurring segment, our first bit of the show. Sal, you ready?
I hope so.
I don't think you are.
Oh no.
Because it's Who's That Pokemon?
Okay.
So how long so basically what we're going to do here for those at home following along, I'm going to give Sal some time on a stopwatch here, which is going to be maybe kind of difficult. I'll figure out a way to make it less difficult to see. But I'm going to give you some time and you're going to have to guess the Pokemon.
Okay.
I'm going to help you out there. I'm going to give you the generation.
Okay.
And the type. Do you want the type too, just to be safe?
Type would probably make it quicker.
Okay, I'll give you the gen. I'll give you the type. You want 30 minutes or 30 seconds or you want a minute?
30 minutes? Sure.
Not giving you 30 minutes. 30 seconds or a minute? What are you thinking?
We can let's do 30 seconds. Let's make it hectic.
Oh, goodness me. You're not going to enjoy this, but let's see how this goes. All right, I'm putting 30 seconds on the clock. So I'm going to say, guess who's that Gen 1 normal type? Hold on. I got to confirm the type. 1 second.
Oh. Probably,
because we got to figure out, you know what? No. I'm just trying to see if it changed.
What type is it now?
You want to go, what type is it now?
Well, I mean, if it's something that turned fairy or something, and I'm thinking Gen 1, I'm going to go, actually, I don't know.
No, you know what? I'm going to say, who's that Gen 1 normal type Pokemon? 30 seconds, go.
Does it evolve?
Yes.
Is this the final stage?
No.
First stage?
Yes.
Meowth.
No.
Uh, I'm already blanking. This is awesome.
Stage fright's a thing. First one. 7 seconds.
I don't even know it was in Gen 1 anymore. God damn it. This is hard. Who else is normal? Oh, no.
Final guess.
Uh,
Final guess.
no, give me one question, then final guess.
Okay, you get one and then your final guess because it's the first one we've ever done.
Is it multi-typed?
In Gen 1 or now?
In Gen 1.
No. Final guess.
Jigglypuff.
I fucking hate you. It's goddamn Jigglypuff. How?
I knew it.
So you know what that was? Is I went out to get water for the show, and my wife wished us good luck, and I just asked her, "Who's your favorite Pokemon?" And that's it.
1 for 1, baby.
So you can thank the missus for that one.
1 for 1.
1 for 1. We'll see if you can keep it up next week or whenever we decide to bring back Who's That Pokemon.
Oh
but until then, I think we need to get to our topic of the show, which is going to be us talking all about that Pokemon Presents we got this week. Everything that was announced. Do you want to start with the not this?
Oh, we're doing
game?
everything. Man, I can't wait to see Mewtwo in that cafe.
Pokemon Cafe mix.
Oh boy.
What about that trainer lodge in Pokemon Masters EX?
You know how I was so disappointed. I saw red on the mountain, and I honest to God, I thought, you know what? Here comes Let's Go Johto, and we got some mobile game content.
I mean, there was no way this was going to announce anything other than mobile game stuff and then Pokemon Scarlet Violet news.
But
That's all I expected going into this.
If you expect nothing, you never know.
Yeah, but I saw people predicting like, oh, we're going to see Pokemon Sleep, which we're never going to see again.
That game's never coming out.
No, it's not a game. It was an app. It's never coming out. But I mean, I went into this thinking, okay, we're going to get Pokemon Go stuff. We're going to get Pokemon Unite stuff. Pokemon Masters didn't even cross my mind, neither did Pokemon Cafe Mix. But I should have remembered that they always talk about these two damn games in every Pokemon presentation.
That's the only time I remember they exist. I think I downloaded Masters when it came out, played it for a little, and fell asleep. So
I re-downloaded. I guessed it on a friend's Pokemon podcast a few months ago, and I told him I would re-download and try it, and I played it for all of 20 minutes. Just like, nah, it's ain't for me.
More than I did.
Yeah.
Might have been
but no, let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this one. Let's just get to it. Pokemon Scarlet Violet news.
All right. How about Chocolate Wooper, though?
Chocolate Wooper gang. Stand up, get up. I saw that. I'm like, oh, look, it's just a ground type. But no, it's ground poison. So Quagsire, now the superior Nidoking, confirmed.
But do we know if it's going to be Quagsire or if it's going to be a new Pokemon?
That's a good question.
Because knowing that
there are leaks out there saying there aren't going to be that many new Pokemon. So, or that many regional Pokemon, that is. So it might be more likely to be something new rather than a regional Quagsire.
I feel like they'll just turn Wooper into a new Pokemon. Like they just won't make whatever the generational form is for Quagsire. They'll just do a new one.
Yeah, because I mean that's what they did with Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? Everything was just regional evolutions when they introduced new stuff. Other than things like, I mean, not entirely. Braviary was just cool and psychic looking.
Yeah.
So they did mix it up. I still think we might get some regional evolutions that aren't just new Pokemon.
We'll get a few. Maybe like
we did 3. That's a low number.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what I think. Maybe 3.
Okay.
Then they'll have new Pokemon instead of regional evolutions.
All right. Well, we did get some new Pokemon. We did get a confirmation of the region's name, Paldea, which that's a group of characters put together to sound like a word. It's a made up word, but all words are made up.
I might keep calling it Palkia region for a bit because that's how I would remember.
I almost did when we were prepping for the show. I'm like, was it Paul? No. Yeah, no, it was. They basically just ripped off their own Pokemon name.
I was trying to think of what the regional Pokemons were, and I honestly almost called this thing Paladin Wooper.
I'm gonna nickname mine Paladin just for you.
There we go.
All right, but yeah, we got confirmation of that. Which it's a word. We got Fido, which I think is the most appropriately named Pokemon in the history of the series.
The names are really good this gen.
Yeah.
From what I've seen,
Between Lechonk and this.
God, Lechonk, Fido. What's the olive one called? Olivey or something?
Smoliv. Or
Smoliv?
small. I think it's Smoliv.
I think I have it here. Yeah, Smoliv, we got Lechonk.
I should probably have that open, but I don't.
We got, Fido, Lechonk, Titan. I like the little new ice whale thing.
Is it little? It looked pretty big.
No, he's pretty big. He's a little guy, though.
He's just a little guy? What does the official site say?
He's big, actually. He's almost 15.
Would it surprise you to know that he's almost 15 feet tall?
No, not at all.
And weighing over 1,500 pounds.
Yeah, you just want to give him a hug, though. Look at him.
He's just muscle. He's all muscle. Yeah, I love ice Pokemon, so seeing a new ice Pokemon that was just, like, really threatening and, you know, it looked like a narwhal with legs.
It does. You know what? It looks threatening, but you know he's going to, like, get knocked out by every other Pokemon in the region.
Yeah.
Because ice types are just right over. No one cares.
Yeah, so Titan, just ice-type Pokemon. Fido, a fairy-type puppy Pokemon. Did you read the description of this Pokemon that they posted on the website?
Unfortunately, I did.
Okay, for those who didn't, I'm going to read it for you here. Also, Fido, dog, but it also looks like bread, and it's spelled Fidough, like dough, like bread dough. It's great. I love the pun. It's phenomenal. Fido's moist, smooth skin has elastic qualities and is both firm and soft at the same time. When these Pokemon become excited, they intimidate their opponents by puffing up their bodies to appear bigger. Fido ferments things in its vicinity using the yeast in its breath. Said yeast is useful for cooking, so this Pokemon has been protected by people since long ago. It is a moist, yeasty boy, and we must protect him at all costs.
Well, you can keep him on your team. I'm going to keep Lechonk and Chocolate Wooper.
You go ahead, and we'll see just who comes out on top when those games come out in November. We also got footage of the 2 box legendaries appearing to be something you have on your journey from the very beginning, or at least near the beginning, because it's how you get around the region quickly. They can run or bike, which it's weird that the one runs when it has 2 big wheels on it, but whatever. They can glide and they can swim. So all of it's just through this box legendary, which I think is kind of neat.
It's cool. It's definitely different. It reminds me of ORAS, where you can ride around on Latias and Latios.
Yeah, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, for those not in the know.
What else? Like, this looks like they just saw how tedious it was walking around the wild areas in Sword and Shield, and they decided, you know what? Convenient bike. Let's just make it the legendary.
Well, they also confirmed that this is going to be the first fully open world Pokemon RPG, because Legends Arceus got close where it had those hubs you could travel to, but this is the first one. It's going to be fully open world. You can tackle the gyms in any order you want, even though the rumors are that the levels won't scale with your Pokemon. So there is going to be either you go hard mode and go to like the 8th gym first like a crazy person and just steamroll the rest, or, you know, there will be some semblance of order. But we'll see what happens when the game comes out. So yeah, like I said, box legendaries. What I like about this versus Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire is that was just like, oh yeah, here's Latios or Latias. Look, they have a new form and you can use them to fly. Cool. In this one, it is just like, oh yeah, the box legendary that you're making your major decision on which game you're going to buy based on the look of these legendaries on the box. Yeah, it's there from the beginning. You get to chill with it the whole time, which I think is kind of nice, because in past Pokemon games, you get the box legendary like right before the Elite Four or something like that, and you only get to use it for like the last hour or 2. Or, you know, if you're like me and have to grind out a bunch at the end because you suck at video games, you have it for a few more hours. But it'll be nice to have it sort of from the beginning and have it feel like more of a companion than it has in previous entries.
Mm-hmm.
We got the new gimmick.
Yeah, I was gonna say we have, what's it called? It's not crystallize, because
it's terastallizing, which is a word that they also made up for this, but all words are made up, so that's fine. So yeah, all Pokemon can terastallize, which is a temporary process which lasts the remainder of the battle. So it's going to feel more like Mega Evolution in that respect, where each of the Pokemon is covered in like a crystal effect, and they get a Terra Jewel crown on their noggin.
Mm.
Uh-oh. We've been served a cease and desist letter.
Oh no.
I think we might have to come to some agreement with the person who issued this letter and bring him on as a regular on the podcast, because I know we talked about that. So we'll definitely not change the name of this podcast until the legalities have been all sorted out. But we'll get back to that on a later episode. Let's get back to terastallizing. Yeah, so each Pokemon will have a Terra Jewel crown, and they'll get the Pokemon when terastallized will boost the power of the move that is the same as their Terra type. Terra type being a new type or a new hidden stat or something, where, a Pokemon that isn't a poison type could be a poison type, or a Pokemon that isn't a fairy type could be a fairy type. We have no idea how this is going to work, how you're going to be able to change it, if you're going to be able to change it in the game, which I assume you will.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an item. I'm sure it's an item or something.
Or like a quest you have to go on to change it.
Yeah, there's probably like an item or like an area you can just decide which one's which. Maybe you can do it in your PC.
Yeah, I do wonder how much of that is back, because I would like to see... We did see an evolution in this trailer, so I do hope that that's going to be more akin to what we saw in Legends Arceus, where it's just something that'll happen in the overworld as you're going about. Like, things will just pop up saying, oh yeah, your Pokemon got experience, some leveled up, some learned a new attack, or have the ability to learn a new attack and you teach it from the menu, like we saw in Arceus.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be interesting to see what terastallizing does for competitive. But we'll get to that in a second. They also announced the return of raid battles from Sword and Shield. In Terra raid battles, up to 4 players will be able to take on a wild terastallized Pokemon, which is where you can find Pokemon that have a Terra type that is different from their usual types, which will be fun. Because I loved raid battles in Sword and Shield, honestly. It was probably the best post-game a Pokemon's ever had. Except for maybe the Battle Frontier.
We need that back. If this game puts the Battle Frontier in, we're set.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, though.
Best of all time, if that's the case.
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you feel about the gimmick?
So far it's okay. I gotta see more of it. I gotta see it like actually through gameplay and executing the actual mechanic itself. Just adjusting to a new gimmick every single time is
every single time.
It's annoying, but it's also like, look, you gotta get you to buy the game, I guess. This one's interesting.
They're trying to use it to keep it feeling fresh, but after enough time of them just being like, oh, new generation, new gimmick, that in itself starts to feel less fresh.
Yeah, that's what's annoying. It's nothing even just comes back either. Like, when was the last time we saw a Mega? It's been so long.
Pokemon Go likes to use those a lot. I think they just introduced Mega Scizor.
Yeah, it's not
the same.
It's not the same.
I loved Pokemon Go for a minute, but like, it's not the same.
Oh, I have it still on my phone. I open it every now and then, but it's not Pokemon.
See, I only do that when I get dragged out to go to the mall or something, and surprise, there's a community day or something going on, and I get to enjoy that. But it's fine either way. Yeah, I think what'll be interesting about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the Pokemon YouTubers that I follow creating content about this. How is this going to affect competitive? Because now you have this hidden type you can introduce to any Pokemon. If it's got a sizable move pool, you now have something that can become like a crazy sweeper of a different type. And you don't really know. I think that's going to add a lot of strategy to the game that wasn't there previously.
Going to make competitive even more of a disaster than it is. Get ready for Mythicals to have these random moves and types.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the announcement a few days prior to this where they announced the rules for the next season of the video game championship. But for the first time ever in VGC competitive, they're going to allow mythical Pokemon.
That's a choice.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how the next series goes. But that's not a conversation for today. Probably not a conversation for this podcast. If you want to listen to, people nerd out about Pokemon stuff, what's the name of the podcast that I was on about Pokemon? I need to find it. I'm going to be really upset if I don't shout out
what's the name of the podcast?
Huh?
Like how you don't remember the name?
It's been a while. I've been working on maybe starting another podcast. So let me see if I can find it. I want to find it real quick just so I can shout them out. the Poke Ramble podcast. So you can go to pokeramble.com to check that one out. But that's always a fun time if you want to keep up with some Pokemon news. But yeah, we'll talk about Pokemon from time to time. But to get into the nitty gritty nerdy stuff like that, definitely Source is better than us, because I don't think you follow the VGC scene at all, right, Sal? It's
Not too much anymore. No, I'll
no.
like watch clips every now and then, but not like dedicate my entire day to doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Other than that, they announced that there'd be 3 main quest lines described in the game as grand stories. One of which will be touring around and competing in the 8 gyms and presumably the Elite Four. There will be 2 other stories. I assume one of them is going to be this treasure hunt that we're sent on that they talk about like 4 or 5 times in the trailer, which I'm assuming is going to be investigating this terastallizing phenomena.
Probably.
The other one's probably whatever the villain in the region is, or something along those lines, would be my guess.
I just hope there's a balance there. If there's 3 different plots, I hope there's just enough scaling that you're not completely overleveled if you choose to do one thing over the other, and vice versa, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it did an okay job of that in Legends Arceus, so hopefully they just build off of that. You would hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Other than that, if you buy the game early, you can get a flying Pikachu. Because, of course, they had to give away a Pikachu.
Going right to the box.
Hey, Flying Pikachu is one of the OGs, all right? Back in the day, there were all these rumors about, oh, yeah, you can get a Pikachu with Surf, Pikachu with Fly. Pikachu with Surf evolves into Pika-Blue, which turned out to just be Meryl.
First runs, new Pokemon only. Right to the box.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've tried to do that, and I definitely did with Sword and Shield, but I don't know how easy that's going to be. I hope it's easy enough to do that here. Also, I need to know, Sal, before we get through this, what's your starter? Who's your team?
Going for Coco for once. Usually I go grass.
Good. Fuecoco is the boy.
Something about him just calls out to me. Maybe it's that derpy little face. Maybe it's the
fact that fire type Pokemon are rare in most of these games.
That might be it too, but you know, it's he's got something to him. Looks like a little guy that I want to go all through this region with. And yeah, fire is usually rare. But yeah, we're going for Coco this time, which is rare for me because I never really go fire. I always go grass the first time. But
yeah, I'm usually a fire boy. Sword and Shield, I went with Sobble just because I saw myself in that Pokemon. You know, with it being kind of nervous of everything and antisocial and all that, and that was not a good choice. So I'm going back to the tried and true formula, which is Fire Boy every time to start these games. Also, I have a feeling that Sprigatito, which is the grass type starter, is not going to stay on 4 feet for long.
Probably not.
And I have a feeling Fuecoco might end up on 4 feet if it gets big and chunky enough.
I hope it just stays on all 4s. I don't need it to turn into another humanoid monster like everything's been turning into lately.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice having just like a quadruped starter instead of, what was the last one? Swampert? No, Torterra.
Quadruped?
Torterra.
Samurott was Gen 5.
Samurott. That was it, I think.
I mean, Torterra was Gen 4. Like, let's go take a look.
I think it's
Pokemon starters.
No, actually, never mind. I was gonna say Primarina, but it's like
a swimmer.
Yeah.
Gen 8, there weren't any. Gen 7, they were all bipedal or swimmer. Gen 6, no, because you had Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut. Gen 5, yeah, it'd be Gen 5 with Samurott. Gen 4 with Turtwig, Gen 3 with Trico, or not Trico, Swampert. Gen 2 with Meganium, and Gen 1 with Venusaur. See, when we get to you doing a Who's That Pokemon, I'm not going to have any trouble.
Sure about that one?
Not at all. I'm not confident in myself one bit. But I am confident that that's about all we got to say about this. You're excited for these games. I'm excited for these games. Before we move on, which version are you picking up?
Definitely Violet. 100%.
Is it because the Legendary is way cooler?
It's because it's purple.
I mean, yeah, that's your branding, right? Our branding is purple and blue because you're purple, I'm blue. at least for now. If anyone out there is open to commissions, we might be looking for, show art and avatars and all that jazz. Yeah, I'm picking up Scarlet myself because I talked to my sister, who I tend to. Now that I've gotten her back into Pokemon in a bad way, like she has spent the both of us have spent an ungodly amount of money on Pokemon cards this year. It's been kind of ridiculous.
Habit.
It's bad, and I gotta break it. I've broken it. She's working on it, but we've been able to bond over Pokemon over the last few years, which has been nice. So I just reached out to her. I'm like, here, 2 games. Which one are you getting? She's like, I'm getting the purple one.
There you go.
Yeah, no. So she's getting the purple one. I'm getting the red one. The only thing I don't like is the fact that now that we've seen the legendaries move, I would rather the purple one because it in bike form is actually a bike.
Yeah, cooler. It's I don't know. They both look good.
The other one's running and it has 2 giant wheels on its chest and lowery bits.
Do we know if that's actually like a wheel?
I mean,
or is it just like
the Miraidon? I think I'm getting that. I'm going to mix the 2 up until the games actually come out. Yeah, there's Koraidon and Miraidon. Which, now that I'm realizing, we should have realized that when they announced them and they both had Rhydon at the end of their names, they wouldn't just be evolutions of Rhydon, but would be literally rideable Pokemon. And I'm dumb that I missed that. Either way. Yeah, I mean, we got a comment in chat. Why doesn't Sal do the commissions? And it's because Sal's a busy boy. Sal's got responsibilities. He did the first pass of this logo, and it's awesome. I actually love the fact that we had something when we started. I was very much ready to just go with this background and box that I threw together like 6 months ago when we were talking about maybe doing something. And then you were able to throw that together in no time flat, and it kind of fitted with the rest of the vibe of the layout. And if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, go check us out on YouTube once that's up eventually, if I can figure out how YouTube works. And assuming we don't lose this recording.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. That's all I got for Scarlet Violet. Oh, we totally glossed over the fact that I'm playing a lot of Pokemon Unite. I'm down the Pokemon Unite rabbit hole. You should play one time with me, Sal. It's so much fun.
They gotta stick it on a platform that doesn't overheat when you hold it.
I mean, does your phone overheat when you hold it?
Shoot it on the computer like every other MOBA.
That would be nice. And there are ways to do that. There's this one Unite streamer I follow who plays the Android version through a program called BlueStacks, which is essentially a way to run Android on PC. And he plays it with a controller, and he's just mapped the button presses of the controller to pressing the screen in specific spots. It's actually kind of ingenious.
It's a lot of effort.
It's too many steps. You should still play because it's a lot of fun. But they announced, well, I mean, they didn't announce it. They reminded people that Buzzwole, the Ultra Beast from Sun and Moon, was coming to the game this week, and in a couple of weeks Tyranitar comes to the game. You want to play some Tyranitar with me, buddy?
Tyranitar's not too bad. They should probably throw in Heracross. Is Heracross in there?
Honestly, Heracross is my favorite Pokemon of all time. So if they did that, it would just be it'd be game over. I'd be in that game every day, just playing Heracross. But yeah, it's been interesting to see Unite after a year, and the fact that there isn't a ton of fanfare over that game, but it's still being played fairly regularly by a lot of people, including myself now. So if you haven't already, there's some events going on for the first anniversary. You can get a bunch of free Pokemon. It's honestly, it's a lot of fun once you wrap your head around how a MOBA works. And I think Unite is a good way to learn how MOBAs work.
Yeah, it's probably one of the easier ones to get into. And I don't think there's an all chat yet, so there's can't be that toxic.
A what?
It's all chat, like in League, where you can just type into the chat whatever you want to do.
There is, but I think it's only in the lobby. But there is voice chat, but also the Switch doesn't do voice chat. There is no voice chat. They added voice chat. I have no idea how it works.
It's gonna...
Because I mute it every time I join a match. Because I don't enjoy the toxicity of that community on the internet.
It's MOBAs.
Pretty much. All right, let's move on. We don't got any more Pokemon talk for today. What I do want to do is introduce a couple of recurring segments that we're going to do in future episodes, but wanted to just kind of introduce them here, get feedback from our community, what you want to see, and if you have any ideas for stuff you want to hear from us, or if you want to come on the show and talk about any of these things or be a part of the show, we'd love to have you. The first one is going to be our favorite game by year. So this is something that was kind of spawned from a Twitter trend earlier this week or last, I can't remember what it was. But basically, each week we're going to go through our favorite game from a given year to give you a better sense of like our tastes and what we like as gamers. We might also do a movie one at the same time because, like I said, we're not going to be fully focused on games. There's going to be movie chat, comics, everything, board games. We'll talk a lot about board games at some point, I'm sure, because I buy way too many of those. But I think we're going to start with this favorite game by year recurring segment to give you a better sense of our tastes, as well as once we can get to it, we are going to do 60-second MCU reviews and rankings, where we're going to, in 60 seconds, review and rank one of the MCU movies every week. Do you think we can keep ourselves to 60 seconds, Sal? It sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
It's going to be 60 seconds to start, and then when it starts getting deeper, it's going to spawn into arguments. I already know it. We have, from what we've talked about, we have some different opinions on these movies. On a lot of these movies.
The only one I can confirm is that we will both agree that when we get to it, that Iron Man is number 1 when it's the only movie we've reviewed.
Yes.
And that the Incredible Hulk will be number 2 when it is the second movie we reviewed.
Like the first maybe 3 weeks, we're going to be on par, and then chaos.
Then that's when the arguments come out, and I have to actually edit stuff down for social.
Whenever Thor comes out.
Thor is fine, but we'll get to that when we get to it. If you have any other ideas for stuff you'd rather see, or if you're excited for those things, let us know on Twitter. Sal, if people were looking to find us on Twitter, where would they go?
If you're looking for me, you can go on Twitter and look at jigsal_, because someone also has that account, and it's a dead account. I'm not getting that anytime soon. So jigsal_ is what you're looking for.
And I'm all over the place Twitch. Go ahead. We'll figure out the whole thing of rigmarole back and forth eventually.
Same thing. jigsal_. Someone's got the account. Can't do anything about it. Not big enough.
You'll get there. Well, this is the launching pad to get you that Jigsal across everything, or you're just gonna have to rebrand, which I've done like 7 or 8 times at this point.
Will not put the underscore in that logo. It looks too weird.
Not our logo. We're not gonna underscore anywhere. And the show, you can find us all over the place at NerdopolisNet, whether that be Twitter, Twitch. I think that's it for now. I've got all the other accounts parked, but we haven't posted anywhere yet. We're planning on Instagram and TikTok content based on some of these segments. I'm all over the place at Mr. Mitch George. Links can be found at mitchgeorge.com. But this has been Nerdopolis episode 1. Chocolate Wooper game.
Technically, 1, yeah. 0.5, 1.
We'll call it 1. The trailer was 0. You can find the trailer on podcast services, and I got to make a trailer at some point for YouTube. But we call this episode 1. So again, thank you very much for joining us. This is something brand spanking new for the both of us. So if you enjoyed any of this, we really would appreciate if you drop a review or rating on your podcast service of choice. For now, we're up on Spotify. Everything else should be coming momentarily. Like over the next couple of weeks, everything should sort of pop up. I will plan on getting this up on YouTube. So comment, like, share, all the fun stuff you got to do over there would be so very appreciated on something that's so new. Links to everything will be in the descriptions of the episode because I know YouTube is dumb until we get to a certain point. If you didn't enjoy what you heard, we totally get it. We don't know what we're doing. We're rusty. Sal's nervous. He's shaking. He's shaking in his boots. We'd love. Sorry, go ahead.
Just getting the groove back,
Yeah, working out the cobwebs and the kinks and everything.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't enjoy it, totally get it. It's episode 1. It'll sound better in a week or 7 when we decide to do another episode. It will be next week. I will hold Sal to that. It'll happen, or I'll find somebody else to do it. Either way, we'd love to hear that feedback if you didn't really enjoy everything you heard. We want to make this the best dang podcast there is out there for all you nerdy folk. So please do reach out to us via the links that'll be in the description to get in touch with us. We'd love to talk to you about all of this. But that's all I got for you. So until next time, keep it nerdy.
Wow.